All right, with some basic toolkits covered, let's get down to business. Let's talk about what you do as a Jun player. Jun has a lot of mix-up potential, but good opponents will know the weaknesses in those and be able to duck jab you or sidestep or whatever it is. However, they can't do that if they can't concentrate, and they can't concentrate if you're constantly doing something different, varying up the timing and messing with them. That is key to almost every mix-up character in general, as well as one like Jun who can't just oppress you with mix-ups like a Hwoarang or a Steve or something like that, right? You have to be selective with what you're doing. So using good mix-ups at the right time is key. She's got a pretty solid poking game to keep her distance wherever she wants it and just kind of wait for the right opportunity. If she wants to go in and run a mix-up, cool. If she runs a mix-up and it gets blocked or whatever, back off. You can kind of go in and, you know, fake the stance and then just retreat, right? You don't have to commit all the time. That's the key to it, is saying like, okay, well, I think I'm going to go for this low all the time. Don't. Go into the backup stance, right? Whatever it is. Be variable, be unpredictable. That is tool number one. The biggest mistake you could make is to overcommit, is to keep going for something. Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to go at it again. And they realize, I'm just going to jab them out, or I'm going to, you know, counter hit them. Cannot give them opportunity. Don't get frustrated. Play your cards right. Right? You gotta believe in the heart of the cards. You got to do your thing correctly and just know at the right moment that little Karibo will be in there when you need it. So, always back off instead of overextending yourself, because mid-range is really good for Jun. She has no problem being out here and just biding her time. This is good territory for her. As we talked about, anything that they do wrong, bang, on top of a litany of other stuff. Jun's defensive options are really good, especially now that she has one of the best punishers in the game. She has reversals. She has emergency buttons. Defensively, really, really good character. So you have no problems going for your thing and just backing off and picking the right time. Being patient, but when you go in there, be a psycho, right? Be unpredictable, be crazy, and then bundle it up. Keep it under wraps. So you have offense and defense. Moving between them quickly is the key, as any pro sports team, you know. Hockey or basketball or soccer, whatever, they'll talk about their transition game. You can be good on offense, but if you can't get back on defense when you need to, you're going to get blown up. So that's the key. Transition. So as far as the neutral game goes, you're poking tools that you can just kind of throw out, see what they're going to do, fish for low damage, mix them up until you got an opportunity to go for something bigger. Good set of tools here. Her 1-2 has that sidestep. Forward 3 also has that same sidestep. These are kind of cool because that's one of your heat engagers. And that's a good whiff punisher. And if they counter hit it, this has a property now. That's kind of a new thing. You get that counter hit, bang, that's a ton of damage. So this little sidestep is kind of cool, just for 1-2 jab pressure. Good stuff. 1-2's got a lot of better options now. 1-2-2 into a Zumo, there's the 4, there's 1-1 stuff into a Zumo, there's now 1-3. Look at that. Not a natural combo, as you'll see, but ain't nobody blocking that. Seriously, nobody blocking that. Just go for it, it's the thing. Don't worry about it. This kick overall is really good. And now it's built into that one string. Jab stuff, pretty solid overall. Jab pressure situations from this character are very strong. All kind of +6, do it again. Go the other way, +6, do it again. Zoom, bang, bang, you know? Great stuff. 2-1-4 is really good now. I used to like this move a lot because it was just 12 frames, good range and all that stuff. But now that you get 2-1-4, I think that's kind of cool. It's got a nice chunk of damage to it. This is a really good move to just kind of like, you know, sidestep around them and go for it again. There's nothing to really like commit to here. It's all very good stuff. Well, technically it is unsafe, but again, it's they punish that, you start letting them rip with the follow-ups. That's what those are there for. You go for that safe high, they're not going to die. If they punish this correctly, and they duck this correctly, just put the controller down and go home. Just go back to the hotel room. You're done. It's the way it is sometimes. You can't live your life afraid of that. So this 2-1-4 is pretty good. But 2-1 just to pokey. Because 2-1-2 exists. Good stuff. 4 is not as magic as it once was. But you get that little knockdown, which is good. You get follow-ups, so okay. I'm glad they got rid of magic 4s, but having a little bit of a kind of neat. Good 12 frame, you know, counter defensive tool, which is what it was supposed to be. Instead of I'm just going to fish for this because I'm brain dead, you know what I mean? This is what it's for now. A little self-defense gets you some reward for over-aggressive opponents. And then up forward one, we talked about the best punisher on earth. Really good stuff. Just anytime they make a mistake, you get a quick little sidestep in their offense or whatever, bang. 10 frame knockdown, get them. As far as mids, to keep them honest, mids are very important. They can't duck mids. Azucena cannot parry and shuffle through mids. Very important. We talked about 1-1 and forward 1 as ways to go into a Zumo. Very good. Not the Zumo mix-up is not free, but if they want to challenge, you do have Power Crush stuff. Right? Boom, like that. Power Crush if they get jabby. So remember your options. Remember what to do based on what your opponent favors. That's also very important. Not just going for a wild mix-up, but, man, every time I go for this, they jab. Remember that and use it to their advantage. 1+2, we talked about also, is one of the faster heat engagers in the game. Really good stuff at 13 frames. 3+4, press the other 2 buttons, you get this. A little airborne, safe, mid, knockdown-y thing. -6, that's really good. Causes chip damage, and on hit, uses Kazama power, blows them up. That's a pretty cool tool all around. I always like that move. That was good stuff. I think it might be even better now. You wager some of your health. Forward 3 we mentioned is a mid that has your side stance. But now it also has this little forward 3-4 and forward 3-2 into a Zumo. Again, this is what Jun does, right? She's never going to do the same thing twice when you're smart. All these little dumb kicks and these little things, they lead to something different every time. There's 5 different things that she could do in the middle of it. And it's not just like conventional stance. A lot of other characters are like, okay, they're going to do this into stance, this into stance. Juns are everywhere. She can just do all these things one after another, and you never remember which one. That was what I think part of the smart thing about her new paradigm is before it was this, this, and this. That's all you had to worry about. That went into a Zumo, it went into Genjutsu, it went into sidestep, it did everything. Now they're all different. Now they have to remember several different things. Oh, this doesn't go into a Zumo anymore, but this does. Right? So, I can beat Genjutsu with a jab, but I can't beat a Zumo with a jab. Right? All that stuff going through their head, never going to keep it straight when you were careful about it. A down forward 1-1 was always there. Now there's a down forward 1-2. A little safe option for a high, always good stuff. Little hidden counter hits here. Enough frame advantage. Only the second hit, but very short range. A forward 1 is guaranteed in the face. So if you're just doing this stuff and you catch that counter hit right there, you can get that free slap, but it's very situational. I had to dig to find that one. But having that option is good. 1-1, very good. 1-2, even better when you combine them. Down forward 2, basic launcher now. She's got a straightforward mid, down forward 2. You can see is -12, but when you do the Kazama power, -9. Stay safe. But again, that might be debatable because look how much health it takes from her no matter what. So once you learn how to get that health back, it doesn't matter anymore. So it is important to pay attention to that stuff. Again, a weakness of practice mode, I wish I could teach you more information about exactly how the health works, but we'll get there in time. What else is mid? That's mid. Down forward 3. Fantastic homing move, probably her top move. Safe, homing, mid, beautiful. Down forward 3-4 is this new little kick with 2 options. Mid and a low. Neither one of them is natural, if you'll notice. Oops. I don't know. It's there. It's something fun. She has that set out of White Heron Dance now. They pretty much gutted White Heron Dance, and there's no other options but that. So I guess we made this new kick. Let's stick that in there too. Those are there. It's a mix-up you could run if you want to. It's not great. They're risky, but that's kind of the name of the game. If you do this one time and they get hit by this low, they're going to be looking for that low for the rest of the game. You know what I mean? And if it never comes, it's going to make them crazy. They don't realize it, but it will. Down back 1-1. This is a really good move because it's, while not technically safe, I don't think they're going to punish that. Because I think in their brain it looks enough like 1-1, which gets them into an Azumo trap. Down back 1-1, it is visually different, but in the heat of the moment, they're not going to be ready to punish this at 11. But you can see, oop, I got him. Press 1+2 and get that whole string. So that's technically hit confirmable. And if you do stop on block, you're not risking a ton. So down back 1-1. When you confirm that hit is worth the damage, and if you get blocked, so be it. The block is bad. Do not commit. They will launch you for that. That they'll remember. But being able to block this, nah, I wouldn't worry much about it. Down 2 is another very good mid. Forces them to crouch on hit and on block, and it's a counter hit launcher. Right, good stuff. Always good. Safe mids, the counter hit launch, and force this crouch. Even though it's -4, like, they're not going to try to attack you. It's going to feel negative. I mean, they can. So be aware. If you see an opponent does this and they just do that roll standing 4, it's going to win. So be aware of an opponent that does that. That tells you more about them than it does in terms of the health damage in the match, right? That's an important piece of information. Back 4-2 we talked about in Punishers. This is a cool little string to have. Delayable, hit confirmable. If you counter hit that second part by itself, you get combos from it. I think you get a basic combo. Nothing fancy. You get that. Still, whole ass combo just for being able to delay that attack a little bit. Cool stuff. Back 2-1. People used to use like crazy because it was one of your entries into stances and all the other stuff and its follow-ups, but it was a high, and doing this into a Zuma was high. Stupid. Enter back 2-2. Look at that. There's a mid option now that's a natural combo. Oh, praise the Lord. And it is safe. Ladies and gentlemen, it's safe. So they get hit by that. They're going to stop ducking this. When they stop ducking this, you get Genjutsu stances. It's friggin' party time. Let's go. Because she has that mid. She has that mid. She has that mid. Right? There's all kind of stuff in there. Different purpose. One's a wall break, one's a screw attack, and then the stance stuff. Oh man, look at all this good stuff. So now you can finally use back 2-1, but you do have to keep them conditioned to this move. You got to make sure they know that exists. Cannot let them forget that. But that's a really good toolkit now. You can finally use this and not get, you know, blown up for it every time because they're ducking that. You see a player that remembers Tekken Tag 2 and they keep ducking this, stop them. Great stuff. As far as lows, pretty good set of lows on Ms. Kazama here. Better than it was. 1+4 was always a really good one. Boom, boom. What, 14 frame startup used to lead to all kind of mix-ups. Not as much. That's a high. Now she has that. Kind of risky. I don't know. -11 by itself. It's there. This was pretty much just to like do that and not worry about it, right? You're doing offense stuff, just do this and stop. You used to be able to do this in a Zumo. You used to be able to do this inside. Okay, it's gone now. So just do this and get out of there. That's all you wanted. You can force this a little bit if you want. You do that, it's going to get ducked, I promise you. So the first time you represent that, they'll stop thinking about it. You got to do that all the times. If you see the opponent counter your move, make sure you represent the opposite one so you know that they got lucky that time. You're not going to get away with that every time. You're going to have to play the game with me. So that's part of 1+4 now. So not as good as it was, but it's still there. Down 3+4, still one of the better like panic buttons in the game. 14 frame, counter hit launcher, beats other lows. Fantastic. One of the best lows there is. Next up, down back 3. They gave her a standing little poke low. It's not the fastest in the world, but it's +2-1 hit. +2-1 hit lows, good stuff for me. I like those. Down 4-4 still exists. Don't ever do it. Use the down 4. It's -1 on hit, but it's faster, right? So you have this, a little bit slower, but plus on hit, a little bit faster, but negative on hit. Don't ever do this. They'll duck that high. You're not going to be able to confirm the counter hit. Don't do it. Not worth the risk. So just use this by itself. Down back 4 is the old leg cutter. 0 on hit. You can stay in crouch. She used to have a mid. She used to be able to do this, and then basically that over the top. It's gone now. There is no mid option out of this. There's another low, and there's a high. That's all there is now. So you cannot mess with the leg cutter like that anymore. You basically have to just do once, go for a mid launch, you know what I mean? Stay in crouch and do that stuff. I don't know. Not like it was, but still useful if you just pop them once and forget about it. She used to have like 1 into leg cutter and like back 2 into leg cut. All that stuff's gone. So there is no other way to go into leg cutter except for dragon wheel kick. That's all. So leg cutter is diminished, but it still does what it does. You do get a little bit of a crouch action if you want it. That's all. Down back 2, still pretty good. A little bit of extra counter hit, but nothing magic. Decent enough. Not a for +2 though. I mean, I'd honestly rather just stick to this for the most part. This is pretty slow to count on the crouching state. Down back 3 is really good. That's all you need to worry about. Back 1 is still there. They switched it to the Asuka version, which is just counter hit, and you get a grip of damage. This actually isn't too bad. I don't mind this move. It is slow. They can block it, but I don't care. Whatever. Once in a while. And a couple of other strings with lows in them. We talked about 1-3. It's not natural, but they're never going to block that. Having lows built into strings is pretty cool. That's what makes this kind of neat, because there is a low present there. And doing stuff like you know, genjutsu into low. That's really fast. That's a good way to incorporate lows into your game right in the middle of stuff. Not just in neutral, like, okay, I'm either going to down forward 1 or I'm going to do this, right? That's kind of all I'm going to do here. Throwing your lows into the middle of stuff is really good. Next set of moves to look for are the crouching ones. We talked about a couple of moves like leg cutter where you can stay crouched. Down 2, you can stay crouched. A lot of moves out of this full crouch situation. We mentioned in the Punishers that at -10, just get that for free. Fantastic stuff. But you do have a lot of things to threaten them with. You have this while standing 1-1 and some string options, you know, to go back to the low. Now, while standing 4 will knock them down nice and easy too. While standing 1+2, not quite the menace that it was. You can't do that anymore. While standing 1+2, you only get 14 frames of standing there. Other than that, they're airborne, so you have to go for a regular juggle. So you lose that relaunch, that max damage. This counter hit into this, that's gone. But still, on counter hit, you get this combo. It's still a combo, it's just not a stupid combo anymore. So while standing 1+2 is a really good move. Fantastic range. What else do we have with that? You have 3+4, which goes over these lows, and 3+4, 3 does it again. At any point you can stay crouching. Very cool. Mids that go over lows. You can do your own low. This full crouch down forward 2 is still there. And on counter hit, you used to get that, but mathematically it should still work according to what's on screen, but it doesn't. It says +18, but they block. However, you can just do that. The new while standing 3 will launch that. So you basically get the same thing, but more. Look at that, 88 damage from that counter, that low counter hit. And again, there's a mid to go with it. There's all kind of counter hit. There's tons of stuff. There's also full crouch down forward 3. You get that clean hit, you get a knockdown, you get ground follow-ups. Amazing stuff out of crouch. Just anything that you want to do. As far as the moves that can get you into crouch, forward 2, you can cancel with down. While standing 1+2, you can cancel with down. Down 2 automatically recovers in crouch. Down back 4, the leg cutter, you can hold down and stay crouched. Down back 2 is automatic one. And then the full crouch pirouette kicks. Both of these you can hold down and stay. Oops. And stay in crouch after either one of these. And Genjutsu 1 is a low that stays low. Boom, there you go. So full crouch is nasty. You can think of that as a stance as well, but it's nasty. There's lots of great stuff in there. That dangerous ass low is there. That dangerous ass mid is there. That dangerous ass mid. Great stuff all around. So you got high, medium, and low that they can jump and duck and block. What about just evading stuff, going over lows and going under highs? Versus lows, there's a lot of good stuff. Jun's got some cool airborne moves. 3+4 is really good. All of these like pirouette stuff. Full crouch 3+4 does that. Forward 3+4. All of these things blow up lows. Really cool moves. And they're all safe as far as I can remember. You stay in crouch. Cool stuff all around. But they're not fast. An opponent like this range will jab you out of the air. So like back here where you catch them with just the tip, really good stuff. Beats out any potential low pokes of their own. Still hits them. Nice damage. Up 4, straight up 4 has always been pretty good. I get this by accident all the time when I want to go for a hop kick. And I accidentally just get straight up 4. Still a good move. In fact, I think when you're in heat, you might be able to convert this. Yeah, you can. You can combo off of that in heat. Only in heat mode. You can't do that otherwise. This is like the only thing that hits them, and you need to be in heat to convert. So up 4, really cool move. Even better than it was. Beats lows. Up forward 3 definitely jumps over lows. This is one of the best counter hit launchers she has. Up forward 3 is still a great move. Bang, look at all this damage. All that good stuff. Up forward 3 is great. Up forward 4-3 is also great. Jumps over lows, you get your combo, etc. Back 3. Dragon Wheel Kick can beat lows and highs. It's a little weird sometimes. If you're feeling it, right? That's it. That's the only time. You don't do this move because it's a smart thing. You do this move because you're feeling it. That's about all. So lots of ways to beat lows. And obviously, if we didn't mention that already, cans, down 3+4. Beats the hell out of lows, counter hit launcher, brilliant. Going under highs, not as simple. Forward 2 tends to do that. Like, that'll move will just clip right under stuff, no problem. Down 1+2, I think, is also really good at it now. I've already had this move go under some stuff, and boom, just launch them for that. And Miyari 1 is the same thing. You know, they can go for this. Oh, I'm in Miyari stance. I forgot for a second. Just go for 1. Maybe you'll blow up a high. It's worth a shot. If you're in a panic, it could be worth it. Back 1, we just talked about as a low. It'll go under high stuff, but it's a little bit on the slow side. Same with down back 2. They're not reliable. Down back 4, the leg cutter. If you want to go under a high and hit them, this is a good option. That's kind of what it's best at, is high crushing. General evasive stuff, you don't have to go around it. You can go right through it. Back 3+4, whatever it'll do, and it'll evade their attack and then hit them. So is your Genjutsu Power Crush 2 and Izumo 1+2. Power Crushes go right through stuff. Don't even have to go around it. Just go through them. Whoops. Forward 2+3, the punch parry. This is a combo starter if it doesn't. You can just run up and pick that up. It's a little bit different if it does punch parry. So kind of cool. If you kind of do catch them with that, you get a combo. Or if you don't catch them with that, you get a combo. Otherwise, it's a punch parry. And she has standard reversals. She can just parry stuff like this. Grab them, boom. Depending on how they knock down, sometimes you might get like a forward 2 follow-up on the ground. And Genjutsu automatically parries lows. Just doesn't even matter if they're low. Just go right through them. Mess them up for it. So as far as evasion goes, either just slipping their attack entirely or going right through it. A couple of cool moves that are worth noticing. And other than that is moving laterally. Sidestep game. Sidestep is pretty decent. Sidestep 2 is a good clean whiff punish. If you counter hit them in the middle of a string, you can get a free follow-up for it. Like if you cleanly avoided the first hit and then counter hit them for the second one, you get follow-ups, I think. I've got to do it. There you go. 54 damage. Look at that. Same with Sidestep 4. You get a heat engager opportunity for avoiding the move that way. And this little guy to reassert your lateral dominance. I move sideways. You do not. Sidestep 1+2. So the last thing to really talk about is that lateral movement. We talked about high, mid, lows, about moving over and under stuff, going through them, crouching, all that stuff. Let's talk about side to side when they want to do it. They want to get around your offense by moving side to side. You got homing moves. Just shut that down completely. I don't want to worry about, oh, this tracks to the left but doesn't to the right, or this doesn't track. I hate that shit. There's not a way to live your life. Oh, you always just sidestep Jun to the right. That's stupid advice, because I promise you she has moves that'll track to the right and everything else tracks. It's dumb. When you want to stop your opponent from sidestepping, use homing moves. If you're using homing moves all day, your opponent will stop sidestepping. That's all there is to it. Just think about it that way. Oh, I want to stop them from sidestep. Every time I do this, they sidestep. Well, use your homing moves. That's what they're here for. Forward 4. It's a high, but it's plus on block. Down forward 3 is mid. Still safe on block. Even better. If your goal is to really stop them from sidestepping, down forward 3 is the coverall. They can't avoid that. Forward 4, they can sidestep and duck, technically, whatever. Same with up 2. You do get that homing that shuts them down, and you get your Izumo stance from there. Also pretty good. Forward 3, long range. That's got way downtown. Homing move and follow-up, so that's worth noting. And then sidestep 1+2 for whenever it's there. Right, there's that. Assert lateral dominance is pretty much all it does. And your stances have them too. Genjutsu 4, Miyare 1+2, which is Izumo strike, and Izumo forward 1+2 is another homing move. Homing move, homing move. So you got the options there. They should not be sidestepping you. These are all really good moves to have in your arsenal, especially that guy. They should not be sidestepping anymore once you're doing your thing at the proper place. Especially when that place is out here and you're still catching sidesteps. Look at that. Boom. Great stuff.